Hey, what's going on, guys? So, we got the LNG versus T1 Game 1 review. So, to go with the draft, we got a Jax banned for Zika. We got Nico. We got Saya. This has been constantly banned. The Rumble ban, Renata. And Caitlyn. Caitlyn for Gumusi, who also has Kira, who's actually a really good Enchanter player. So, Caitlyn banned, pretty good. They first picked Jarvan. This is mostly because Gala is like a really good Kaisa. And they have a lot of meshes of like, just playing forward. So they're like, yeah, sure, let's fucking do it. They take OP Oriana, and then this pick right here is kind of been the one of the best picks ever, just because teams are flexing the rel, and this goes into like all these other picks, and it becomes really annoying. So we're gonna see how they deal with it.
You talk about his flexibility, even back when we were having all kinds of crazy sports in the bot lane, the ADCs, everything, carry can play it all. So I really find out what the preparation is here for T1. They're on red side. We'll go get the counter pick here for Carry and really try to run this first game through bot lane.
Well, there it is. As I said, Kaisa, right? Like, they're picking it purely for Kaisa, I guess. And then they take Azir. Again, you could take Syndra into this, or Scout, who's one of the few people who actually plays like the melees. He also could play at Kali. He has roughly at least three picks, so he actually could have dropped. But they didn't want to take support here, because if they take support here, this could flex in the jungle, and then they might counter it, and it could be really bad for them, so they're going to save it, but I doubt they're going to get a chance to counter support. Aatrox. So that's interesting. So if he's taking Aatrox straight up, they see that as priority. Like, they didn't want to take their AD yet. They don't want to show their duo lane yet at all. Interesting. Philios. Okay, so I'm gonna say right now, I would never pick a Philios. Like, if I was T1, I would never pick a Philios. This is a kind of a wasted ban. Nautilus, not bad. Not bad. Nautilus is actually one of the picks that just kind of... Like, there's Alistar, there's Rel, right? There's Leona, but Nautilus is like the premier kind of, I can just force shit and kind of just get kills. So
just ban Renekton if you're going to ban
that was a good ban.
But they might just go more towards support. Jax is already banned out. I do think you can ban out Renekton. It's obviously a great option. Cassante, you think you're generally happy about playing in that matchup as the Aatrox
Alistar. Okay.
So
they ban these, and of course, again, this opens up, banning this opens up, oops, sorry about that. This kind of opens up this pick a little bit more, because there's not a lot of great picks into rel support. So again, it's like, okay, we'll play rel support if you you don't do this correctly, you don't navigate this pick and ban correctly.
LNG opt into the Senna ban here. We've seen the Senna be really successful into Kaisa specifically, and there's also still the potential. Like, I'm assuming this rel will go towards owner, but there is still the opportunity for T1 to hold that until the end.
Rickon. Rickon. It's not bad. It's like okay. Senna. I mean, obviously we know what's gonna happen if they're taking Senna like this, and they don't want to take TK because TK is not exactly great into like these champs here. Like, not even that great into this champ either. And obviously Kaisa TK is like, bleh, Of course, at the same time, it is true that Senna doesn't have any other pick she wants to play it with, or like play bot with at all. So like, I think if he did that, I don't know, maybe he'd play like some kind of like range support or something like that, and it'd be a really weird lane. I'm gonna assume they're not doing that.
But there are other options.
What can they pick in the support role? You really I mean, there's only like one or two more picks at this point. By the way, don't ever feel ashamed to look up stuff. Like, at this point, it's Blitzcrank, I think. Like, it might be Blitzcrank, Bard, but Bard Kaisa sounds terrible. Blitzcrank. Maybe Pike? I don't know. It's a little weird.
And T1 is one of the only teams in the world that has shown us that at a high level.
Specifically, Carrier has been, I think, the most impressive when he can find...
What are we gonna do? It's Blitzcrank? Ooh, I'm too good! Look, again, I shouldn't say I'm too good, because the options are extremely limited, and you're not gonna pick Leona here. Ever. You'll never pick Leona here. So, and Blitzcrank has his arc cancels or like breaks shields, so it's already like that's kind of like a whole thing. Yeah, it was definitely the best pick they could have done. And then to round this out, they need a top laner into Aatrox. Low key, okay, Gwen actually is good. I've talked about this in another draft before, but like with Gwen, the thing with Gwen against like these two champs, like TK Senna, is that they're good at dealing with like how would I say it? She has high range, and they're good with like peeling back and like absorbing from like a singular shot, right? But Gwen just kind of just gets on your ass. It just sits on your ass. So this pick is rather good.
Like this matchup, you can go aggressive with that Blitzcrank, but this is a feast or famine spot when you're wrong, and he's gonna have to perform well because if you fall behind on Blitz,
Gwen.
you become useless fast.
And this Gwen actually is the counter pick that T1 opted into in game 5.
Huge.
Into the Aatrox. We'll see if Zika has a better time. They don't work back then. One is gonna be
Good
offline.
draft.
I mean, this is, I'm expecting it to still be the TK, but
Well, okay. I'm not like the biggest fan of Kaisa here, but at the same time, the way they rounded it out was pretty good.
I think there's a lot of other good pairings. I've seen things like Cho'Gath and Nilah is something that I've heard about.
Neela! Whoa, I did not anticipate that. Holy shit, Neela. So they're not doing Senna TK because they know this is kind of shitty with like how this is going already. Neela. So Neela goes in, so she's gonna farm up XP for Senna. This is ballsy as shit because this is really scary.
It is the Nilah Senna lane. This is something that a lot of people have been kind of whispering about talking about it in solo queue, popping up in scrims as well. The ability to all
This is ballsy as shit. I don't know about that one, man, but we'll see.
It is just going to be a full-on Senna support. This is really exciting to see this brought out in such an important match.
I mean, unfortunately, I know like
You mentioned kind of on top of the same with the Neela pick. Suddenly this is a must pick.
I know that T1 3-0s, which is, you know, not ideal to know that. But it's like, Neela, man. And he said that it's something that's happening in solo queue, but fuck, I don't know. I mean, it's a Jarvan too, so like they're gonna have to level. They're gonna get push unless someone gets hooked. They need to place a ward down before J4 ganks them, so like that has to happen. And J4 can technically do Krugs, cross over the river, and still be there. So Rel also has to come level 3 onto bot side if they want like to keep this lane remotely like doable. Gwen also could literally just walk in the top side into Rel, which would be bad. And that would actually doom the game of T1. Are they late invading? But is this a good late invade spawn? Really? Surely not, right? Is it really that good? Wow, I guess it is. I guess Rel's Q just does so much fucking damage, and then they have hook. I didn't think they could just fucking do that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if everyone was actually set and ready, because they ward bot early, which is smart, right? They do an early ward bot because, like, okay, if they have bush control, it's gonna be problematic. If he's here and then he's prepping here, even like over the wall, and you have this ward here, and you're just looking to see what happens, you could hook someone over and fuck with them instantly.
And, we've already seen
At least, you know, I would maybe chance trying to burn the red if I was J4, because he's checking this area now, right? I mean, maybe they don't anticipate this being invaded as well. I mean, Blitz, yeah, Blitz should come over here the second he sees this guy get pushed out. But like I said, personally for me, I'm not anticipating a late invade. But I really wish Hong was just in a better position, because holy shit, yeah, if these guys get hooked, that guy has to instantly flash. That's rough though, because this guy's going to take the red buff, and now any kind of early plays in the way Blitzcrank can play in bot lane is just kind of negated. This guy doesn't want to do the red, so he's too worried about, because he used the smite on Raptors too. Keep that in mind, he used the smite on Raptors. But it isolates the bot lane, and I mean, we'll see if Zika can play hard in the top, right? Holy fucking shit, that is not real. So he's leaning hard on the top side, but the thing is, like, where do they see Rel? I mean, they don't know if Rel's on red buff or not, but the reality is, like, he just has to play, like, the wave normally, scout. And he's getting kind of, like, chipped out by Faker. But he should be standing like here. We're gonna show it soon. So see where he is? Like he should still just be mostly playing around here. I know Rel can come over the wall, but he should mostly just be playing around here, just hitting. And obviously he also has 2 pots over Faker. Like Faker already used 2 pots mid. So it's not like he's losing. Like initially it looked like, okay, it looks like he's eating some damage. He has 2 pots over the Faker. He's chilling. He's fine. And yet, because he moves this way, now he puts him in a spot where he's like, well, I can't really come back to lane because Faker's just like standing here and he's just gonna throw the ball at him. Back up, and then he's gonna move forward, and then he's gonna come back in. And it's just gonna be this weird tug of war that's really bad for Azir. And yeah, that is not okay. And the wave is pulling. Faker's not really gonna turn the wave. It's kind of too big for him to turn the wave because he will just have to burn all of his mana to do it. So he's gonna drink both pots and still be only half HP. Yikes. And in this bot lane, you know, I'm not anticipating Nila or Senna to actually kill the enemy bot. At least not in the beginning, but them free farming to get to their 6 faster is an issue. It looks like Zika has a solid lead, but he didn't really get this guy low enough to do anything. So basically, Zeus, I'm going to assume, kind of just accepted the situation, sacked CS, and didn't make things worse, which is good. He also checked Krugs to see if that was gone, so he got his team some intel. And now, notice this. So Scout has no flash. No flash. Had to use his TP to come back. Lost both pots. Had to get Rejuve Potion. And now he has to get this wave in. And then Faker match TP just so he can actually fight this, right? If you look where Tarzan is, this is what Tarzan did. Tarzan did these top camps. Messed around top a little bit just to like check. Now he's on the blue, so this guy's a little bit ahead, right? He's up 1 camp in the process because he's doing the Raptors sooner than J4's doing the Raptors, and of course, Rel's is faster in that sense too. Yeah, now, oof, good. Don't let him take the Raptors. That'd be really bad. Okay, and Blitz moved up for that, so then bot lane gets a little extra free time again. And then Rel's like, okay, this guy is taking his Raptors, right? I have pushing bot. They can technically move over and support my Krugs invade. So I'm just going to go play for this, guys. And J4's not matching this, by the way. J4's just like, well, all my top camps are up. And, I mean, I assume you guys are not going to get dove and you're fine. I don't know if he's anticipating this guy actually just coming over and just taking the Krugs, but that kind of sucks. And then J4 finishes out, he's gonna base. And then naturally he's just gonna go bot side. This guy TP'd and bought. Ooh, I really don't like this purchase. He should have gotten more damage. Like, this is pretty bad buy. IMO. Just like rush your damage and you're gonna take over and you're gonna win. Pretty simple, right? But it looks like he's pulling. He's pulling J4 because Zeus is staying, so Zeus is probably like trying to build and like crash. The other thing Zeus could, in theory, do is Zeus could bait Zika to actually hit him and hit the wave with the Q, turn the wave, collect it, and then Zeus can actually get like a superior buy. So now Rel's being pulled over to help Zeus. Zeus didn't want a TP. Bot lane is fine. They already based. They're chilling. So for Rel, it's like, is Rel exactly happy about doing this? Because keep in mind, he just came back from base. So he did Krugs, and he moved over. So he's not super happy about this idea. But if he doesn't do this, and with Zika coming close to 6, probably loses his flash if Zeus tries to like overforce it. He loses ulti flash. So he's just preserving Zeus's sum plus ulti. And then Zeus also gets the buy that he... We'll see. He's dead. So in the end, like, it didn't pan off. And like this obviously kind of sucks because when you think about it, it's like he screwed up his path to help you because you didn't want to use the TP, right? And then because he didn't want to use TP, I helped you, and then he still was able to hold the wave because he didn't actually like go all the way in to like help him push this in because he didn't want to show. Because if he shows here, then it's like a big tell, and it's not really generally good for the map. Typically, like you just want to prevent showing. And then naturally, Tarzan's like, well, I can come back up here. That's what Tarzan's thinking, because Tarzan's like, well, the Raptors I took are already gone, and if I know the Krugs are probably gone on my side, there's really nothing on bot, so you failed. Okay, I'll come up, and then they kill him.
Owner didn't want to show, so he didn't want to fully kind of just show on the wave to be able to help him crash. As a result, he had his positioning, but it means that Zeus had to stay around because with that cannon, it was going to be a freeze. Owner will start up the dragon on the bot side here, though.
Now, the only good thing and the positive thing about this situation from Zeus is he still has TP. Like, that is the silver lining. If he did not have TP, it would be horrible. It'd be really bad. Also, Faker is completely eclipsing Scout. The Scout just made that... I mean, I'm just going to call it a boneheaded move, especially for someone as good as him. I mean, you don't expect that. That is interesting. So, notice Rel, she does her Gromp, and I don't know what he thinks Jarvan is doing, because Jarvan did this, right? So in theory, Jarvan actually could have either based, which, I mean, that's what he's thinking, or Jarvan could have just walked down and then contested the Raptors, and even now, Jarvan in theory could have just walked into his top side and actually started doing his camps. Now they know that that's not the case, right? Gets the ward. Yeah, they just got the ward, so they know that he's on the Raptors. That's not happening. And then once he goes this way, he has a choice either go into his Krugs or actually flip in the top side, which makes way more sense because he has top camps up there. He wants to hit level 6. He actually could have contested... Well, he can't really contest the Raptors per se. He probably would do his camps to get 6 first and then pressure that way. I definitely would not have normally anticipated him doing the Krugs unless he believed these 2 camps he's about to do would not hit him level 6. So that is how Owner is adapting to this. Owner is skipping the blue. He's skipping the blue so he can come over here just to make sure, like, okay, is this fine?
Are going to be opting into, that soul optimization, trying to follow around your jungler, trying to pick up all these additional souls, because really kind of ramping that up is such a big deal, especially if you are playing purely support Senna, where you're not going to be farming, you're not going to be kind of getting that additional gold through that mid game, because you do have... So he knows that his mid has superior base over the other. And Zeus just walks over and they start it. So a lot of this is just coming off the fact that Faker's so strong. Now this is a little different. This guy does have the global, so that's a little bit different. This guy has decent items actually. This is a little through that mid game because you do have a true AD carry. It's not like you're paired with Tom Kench where you can start picking up more and more of that farm. Are going to be opting into
a little ballsy. Oh, so is this exactly the guy's base in the end? No, it's not. Okay, so definitely Scout is not based yet. So if you're doing this, you have this ward here. This guy's overwatching behind. It's possible for Rel to actually react to this Azir situation, actually just flash Q and they go instantly on him. And they could actually have done that. If they're fast enough at doing this, it can work. It's definitely way too hard to go on this guy because, again, you can do the same thing, but this guy might completely win. Like, he might 1v3. Like, this is the biggest concern, is this character 1v3. So they actually just get engaged on, flipped over. I don't like that Zika, like, instantly uses his Q. I would have really preferred if he just started auto-attacking. They just got absolutely shit on in that situation. So, Tarzan has Flag and Drag. No Flash. How does he play it? Wait, Tarzan plays this. Oh my god, Tarzan. Holy shit. Anybody fucking home? Wow. Anybody home? This guy did nothing, by the way. This guy flipped 2 people over, and he walked straight into melee range and got perma-stunned and did nothing. He instantly died. He actually butchered this fight completely. Because to me, you know, if I'm T1, you actually do need to engage on the 0 when he shows and just go for the chance play and try to get his flash. And if you don't get his flash, you kill him. Or sorry, if he doesn't flash, you kill him. If he does flash, then you at least force him away, and then you can kind of restabilize, like, what the hell are you doing? Right? But with the way this, like, panned out, just watch, like... Because Scout ends up just getting this free play, and all he has to do... How does he walk so far forward? It's like he doesn't anticipate the shuffle, you know? Also, this guy's using W forward versus actually getting shuffled, which is, you know, another thing to consider. But, I mean, regardless, I expect him to flag and drag and, like, anticipate this, because if he knocks this guy up, ultis these guys, and they're shredding him, they win. That's rough. They actually should not lose that with how it started. Or it should be like a 1-for-1 at the very least and make it kind of even. Rel gets Herald. Okay, so T1 gets Herald as well. And of course, bot lane's getting farmed, and that's expected for them to get farmed because, again, J4 has given them no help at all this entire game.
So definitely not in a great position to force it, and they do get punished pretty heavily here. Big here is Zeus has a Hex Drinker, so that actually is really good in this early 3v3. Can tank a lot of damage. You see Tarzan just gets 100 to 0 between the CC from Owner as well as Faker Shockwave, and then you already remember.
It was well played by Owner. Like I'll just say this. For a reaction to what Scout was doing, and then seeing where Tarzan was because he has no flash, and then Tarzan didn't obviously reacted poorly, it was good by Owner for how he reacted from the initial good move by Scout. So I'm not going to sit here and just say, well, I mean, Tarzan just screwed up this whole situation, you know? Like, no, it was a good reaction by Owner still. I got to give credit, you know? I can't just say, well, you know, it's just on this one guy. Like, no.
I think that was an ill-advised fight for LNG to take. I'm not saying I'm a little bit surprised because they are one of those teams that to me is extremely measured. They're usually really good at evaluating how strong they are in a game, and if they don't feel like they're in a perfect position, you often just see them play side lanes, they trade for plates, they trade for jungle camps, they trade...
By the way, for anyone just to pay attention to, so this guy can't move because, like, these two will hump the shit out of this guy and plates. So he's permanently stuck here. Like, he has to come here to do anything. But also consider the fact that these guys are level 8 and 7. These guys are level 6. Like, this is the power of Neela. Like, if you can just chill out in your lane, like, especially against Kai'Sa, because Kai'Sa's like a low range AD, and she doesn't go the poke build anymore because the AP got nerfed. The end result is Neela being pretty good. I don't know what this was. What's going on?
One of those see them play side lanes, they trade for plates, they trade for jungle camps, they trade for objectives, and they're one of those LPL teams that is least likely to fight you if they don't feel that they're in an advantageous position. So it is a little bit surprising.
So obviously, you know, they're looking to play defensively, right? And no one's showing to Owner. So Owner's just like, okay, you know, we'll just Herald mid, no problem. So this guy's here, and he's trying to fish for the shuffle on the Faker. But of course, if Faker flashes the shuffle, and he, like, you know, Zerish flash, like, Ori flash, it's really bad. Oh no. Wow. Are they gonna show the top thing again? This game is so skewed, by the way. This is really bad. So what happens top? Because he E'd forward, by the way. Like, typically if you E this way, that's really bad. Like, because this guy should never hit the next Q. But he's waiting for his E, which is impressive, by the way. Oh, he just waited for a full cycle. Okay, well played. So, because a lot of Aatroxes might actually go for the third Q, but it's going to miss 100% because Zika kept E. So he just saved it, just bought time for his CDs to come back up, and he fought again. That is... I mean, it's well played by him. So he does Q5, hits one R, misses next R. Does he hit the next one? Yo, the healing just outdoes him. Also, what are the item differences? I mean, it's impressive. I don't know, it's impressive. And then obviously this shit was just super int. I don't know what Tarzan's doing, but he is playing rather bad. Like, mechanically, he's playing rather bad. This is really bad. Because keep in mind, also, gold advantage and bot lane is fake. In that, well, it's not like 100% real. So Neela's gold is real. But there's also way more gold on Senna than you anticipate because Senna's stacks actually give her attack range and other stats, right? Like 80 stats? I think it gives her 80. So that in itself is like an advantage in it, like from just sitting there and chilling out. And of course, we're also not talking about their levels as well.
And normally Guma, we often see Collector come out as the first item aggressive, yes, much more solo focus, but it seems like he might be going serrated or into Navori, just looking to capitalize on that additional damage, the cooldown reduction that comes through, the endless W proc to show up. I mean, you can see the turf like 9-1 for T1. That shows you how that.
I will say though, if Gwen never went tabbies, she would have completed her mythic, and she definitely would have just destroyed like Aatrox. So again, if you're playing a matchup, especially when you're ahead, don't build the tier 2 item or the tier 2 boots. It's a complete waste of gold. Like, you can build regular boots if you want to, but please, for the love of God, prioritize your mythic, because once you get that, you will overtake your opponent so easily. So at this point, you know, we're going into like a 1-3-1 situation. Blitzcrank is now a little bit more freed up to make plays, which is great. They relieve Azir, so they can make a play mid. These guys try to cheat the wave. Ends up requiring, you know, Kira to lose his flash, so well played. Great. LNG finally make their first play that actually does something, but since they dedicated these members, Ori got to go into bot side, right? Actually, she TPs. Okay. I was gonna say, like, technically she would have gone a free move anyways for Herald if she just pushed out bot versus TP in mid. So a little ambitious. She would have just pushed out bot, and then Azir would have to answer, and they would still be able to pressure Herald like normal. But they get Herald, right?
I agree, people, you know, very critical of these really defensive builds, but maybe in this case it works out because you've got a lot of damage on the T1 team. Dave's just walking up fearlessly, and this sucks for LNG. This was the guy you set up to pull ahead. The map was split to isolate top lane, but that 1v1 costing so much now as we get later in the game. And Zeus, you know, for all his struggles that he has found in finals, and specifically against Doran, was, I think, the member that even during the top times for T1 this summer looked the most composed. Yeah. It's really easy to forget that this is a player that has only been the starter for 2 years.
I hate Faker's build, by the way.
Hasn't been around for that long.
Basically, Faker is solo AP, and he's also not really suffering much threat outside of the fact that, like Jarvan could just engage on him. But at that point, I mean, just get a stopwatch and just enjoy life. I'd prefer him having more defensive items, like, more offensive mythic. But sure, I mean, when you're this ahead and your team's controlling the map super easily, what you itemize is not really going to matter in the end. If the game's a little bit closer, it definitely will matter. So Dragon's coming up. It looks really easy for them. I mean, they have to roll for it, by the way. Like, that was a good trade for trade. Ooh. So, like, personally, I think I would have flipped this dragon if I was LNG. I don't know if they feel that way because they have Gwen, and Gwen does scale really well. And so they, like, want to buy a little bit more time. But personally, I'm in, like, on how the game feels, I want to flip it. Because Ori's really strong. Aatrox is, like, in a good spot. And Neela's only going to get more annoying with the Senna, so I would just chance the hook play and see if we can get something. But in the end, like, they do this play where, like, Azir just cross maps. And I guess, like, they're going to get the bounty. They get his flash. They lose Dragon. Faker's going to get the bot turret. They're going to take some camps from the bot side. It's rough. It's really rough.
surprised no T1 if they don't even opt into a soul fight in 5 minutes, but just head straight towards the Baron. Something that this team has been known for a really long time. I think in summer they
It's really rough.
didn't really work out quite as well as it has in the past. We'll see if LNG find a way, because I do agree. I think that fighting there is always going to lose you the game.
Yeah.
LNG identified the best opportunity to still get something out of the play.
And it's going to be Crown into Nashers here for Scout. So again, respecting the upfront damage, respecting that potential engage. And Zayas just all aboard the lethality train here. He's
Also,
towards it.
I just want to say right now,
Just looking towards it, kinda heavy
this
towards it.
Senna, who has no flash, when did she lose her flash? She lost her flash now, right?
He's obviously been a mainstay for
So,
them, but hasn't been
the
around
most
for that long.
obvious thing you would do is try to see if Senna's flexing on the mid wave and have Jarvan position and look. You know what I mean? Like, the dragon's coming up, and so, like, right here, even they clear this vision, right? And Ori doesn't have TP anymore. This guy does have TP, he has TP. You would think you would just sit here and let these guys take the mid wave and chill out, and then just see what happens. Because again, no flash. You could easily engage on her and just try it. And does their vision show where Ori is? I mean, I had this one ward, which is actually really good. So they would actually see if someone's crossing. But again, look at this. This guy is standing right here in front of them because these guys end up taking this wave. They're not even trying. Like, you gotta make a play, man. You gotta do something that's actually, like, useful. Because you do this, you know, the map plays out longer. And then T1 are gonna start taking the vision, Ori's top side. And it's just so rough. Like, now they're establishing control again. And, you know, when you get into these situations where these guys are here, right? Like, they're clearly moving up and stacking. You want to try to find a chance play on mid. Like, you want to just kind of, like, wing it and try a chance play on mid while these guys are distracted on top side. If you try to defend top, then you're just going to be stuck just slowly bleeding out, and you're not really getting anything. The main thing they're getting in this situation is basically Gwen pushing out bot. That's what they got in return. And, like, even, like, Kai'Sa's, like, coming up on top side, but it's like, this play's already done. Like, they're obviously going to back off. You could be advancing mid a little bit sooner. They're actually just going to slow lose the game. I'm actually amazed that a Chinese team will slow lose a game like this. I have not seen that before.
Which is good scouting on LNG's part, knowing T1 and their knack for starting Barons on a moment's notice. Scout here on the side. He's just going to lay down a little bit of poke here to counter stacked up against Owner. Let's just going to continue to fish for these picks. But Banshee's Veil plus Crown, you know, you talked about it earlier as a build. It's obviously a very conservative build, but at the same time, no one is ever killing Faker. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough, especially from the position that T1 are in. And there's so many threats on this team that it's going to be really difficult to get into the backline towards him. But at the same time, you have to respect the fact that Scout is on his ultimate comfort pick. Ultimate comfort pick is on 2 items. Scout likely to have
Well,
done relatively soon. And LNG, I think, are going to hope to get their 2 items done before this next dragon. I think that is where they're going to try to just draw the line in the sand and try to
not sure what to say.
fight there. If you can take that dragon away from T1, maybe knock some towers off the map. All of a sudden,
It's a really calm win by T1. Seriously. You have to do something to get sums, like, especially in between this dragon. Like, I just want to state that, like, once this dragon is gone, like, you have to find a play on mid against the Senna or against Ori, one of these 2 champs. Because this happened with Herald, right? And he took over this, and then Ori gets this wave, right? Why not just stay top and then just fish one timer to see if she's going to do something? And of course, she's not the most killable because she has Banshees and she has Crown. So if that's the case, then you need to look mid, try to get a flash. But, you know, before we know it, you know, this next dragon's coming up. You know, dragon number 4 is coming up, and they have full sums. And what the fuck are they gonna do? Nothing. They're not gonna do anything.
see both teams trying to fight for this mid lane wave, but all the vision for T1 is focused towards that Baron side, and T1 do have mid prio. The dragon's spawning just now, so will LNG just try to rush it? And the answer is going to be yes. Zika's already on it. T1 are coming, so the fight is going to be on.
Have to be careful about locking themselves in the pit. Keep your eyes on Guma, gets to the back line. Owner now stepping forward.
I'm not even surprised that he steals it. I will say, though, T1 should never be late for this. Like,
to turn this game around for Big Gal on ultimate cover pick is on
Ori's top. Rel is looking top. You already cleared the vision. What is she buying? She has okay, she has an item, which is actually good. This shit's still in a minute. But then they're still, like, fishing around top because they're like, okay, let's clear some vision. I mean, all you need to do is place one ward on here. You're fine. And then be on bot side sooner. So the fact that these guys even have a chance to take this away is just a mistake by T1. He gets the Banshees. He targets the person with Banshees? Are you kidding me? And also, I don't know why he's like flag and dragging. Like, he doesn't want to go in here, by the way. Like, it's bad if he actually goes in here. Just
Just blitz hook him. Just blitz hook him. That's so weird. He can just blitz hook him. No problem.
Are coming, so the fight is going to be
Oh man.
About locking themselves in the pit.
That makes no sense. This was very poorly played. And like he didn't even touch it with Q. It looks like he literally just W'd and then took it. And the rest of this fight is just cleaned up. There's nothing they can do. And the game's just gonna end. Like, what are they gonna do?
But LNG has to be careful about overcommitting. Zaya's still just taunting them, teasing them. Blitzcrank, can the hook come out? Cataclysm locking him in. They will connect, but he pulls it back. Apotheosis!
I mean, I'm not even surprised. So that was the first game. That was honestly probably one of the saddest games I've ever watched from a Chinese team. So, wow.